All right, let's jump right in. If you're a seasoned professional, you know your experience is a huge asset. But what if your resume is accidentally making you look dated? Today, we are going to completely overhaul that document. We're turning it from a history report into a marketing tool that frames your deep experience as the massive competitive advantage it truly is.
First, let's get real about the numbers. A staggering 78% of workers over 50 say they've seen or experienced age discrimination during a job search. It's a real thing, but I promise you, it's something you can strategically navigate.
And this has a very real impact on how long things take. For professionals over 45, the average job search is 25% longer than it is for younger candidates. That's more weeks, sometimes months of waiting and wondering. But this is the number that pinpoints where the problem often begins. Resumes that have a graduation date from over 20 years ago get 42% fewer callbacks. Think about that. A single date can cut your chances almost in half before anyone even reads about your skills.
So, let's be absolutely clear. Your decades of incredible experience are not the problem. Not at all. The issue isn't what you've accomplished, it's how you're telling that story on paper. And that's exactly what we're going to fix right now.
To win this game, you really have to understand your opponent. And in this case, the opponent isn't a person. It's a set of unconscious ideas or biases that hiring managers might not even know they have. Research shows there are three big ones.
First, there's what's called technology anxiety, this myth that you're not comfortable with new tech. Second, adaptability concerns, the idea that you might be stuck in your ways. And third, energy questions, that subtle, unspoken doubt about your drive and stamina. Our entire strategy is built to dismantle these three myths before they even take root.
And this leads us to a really important insight about how recruiters work today. They are laser-focused on the last 10 to 15 years of your career. Now, instead of fighting that, we're going to lean into it. We're going to use it to our advantage to build a much more compelling story.
So let's get to our first big strategy. It's a super simple but really powerful framework I call the 60-30-10 experience rule. This is all about how you use the very limited space, the real estate, on your resume. Here's how it works. A full 60% of the page is dedicated to your most recent 5 to 7 years. This is where you go deep with details, metrics, and big achievements. 30% is for the previous 8 to 15 years. Think key projects, leadership wins. And that last 10%, that's for everything else. Your foundational early career experience, which we're going to consolidate brilliantly. Okay, so you're probably asking, how in the world do I fit 10 or 15 years into just 10% of my resume? Well, you've got three fantastic options. You can use a summary block to show a really clear career progression. You could try skills-based integration, which is great if your career path was a bit more varied. Or, my favorite, achievement highlights, where you just cherry-pick the absolute best, most impressive wins from your early days.
Okay, if your resume were a movie, the professional summary at the top, that's the trailer. You have about 6 seconds to convince a recruiter to buy a ticket and keep reading. This is where the whole thing is won or lost, and we're going to win it with a dead simple formula.
The formula is just 3 steps. It's so easy. First, state your value proposition. Who are you and what problem do you solve? Second, hit them with a quantified achievement. Prove it with a hard number. And third, list your relevant expertise areas. Basically, the keywords they're scanning for. That's it. Now check this out. It shows the difference perfectly. The before summary says, senior marketing executive with over 20 years of experience. It's fine, I guess, but it just screams, I've been around a long time. Now listen to the after. Strategic marketing executive who builds high-performing teams to drive brand growth. Proven ability to scale customer acquisition from 2 million to 50 million. See that? It's the same person, same experience, but the language is dynamic, specific, and totally age-neutral. It's all about what you can do.
And you can apply this thinking everywhere. Stop saying 20-plus years of management experience. Instead, say something like proven ability to scale teams through rapid growth phases. Don't call yourself a veteran executive. Try strategic leader with deep operational expertise. You're not just experienced, you're battle-tested. I mean, led teams through 3 economic downturns is so much more powerful than just a number.
All right, let's tackle that first bias head-on, the dreaded technology anxiety. The trick here isn't just to list a bunch of software you know. You need to tell a story that proves you're not just a user of technology, you're a driver of it.
And you do that with a little 3-part story. First, the context. Migrated team from Excel to Tableau dashboards.
Then, the implementation. Led Salesforce implementation across 3 departments. And finally, the all-important business impact. Championed cloud migration, reducing infrastructure costs by 40%. See, this shows you lead change, you don't just follow it.
And while we're on the topic, you absolutely have to give your skills section a modern facelift. The days of just listing Microsoft Office are long gone. Group your skills into smart categories, like digital platform expertise or data analysis and visualization. It looks so much more strategic and shows you get the bigger picture. And speaking of modern, language matters. Little tweaks make a big difference. Internet marketing is now digital marketing. Team management sounds way better as people leadership. And customer service has evolved into customer success. These small changes signal you're current, you're relevant, you're in the game today.
Okay, we have covered a ton of strategy, but ideas are nothing without execution, right? So let's put it all together in a clear 4-week plan to take your resume from dated to absolutely dynamic.
Here's the sprint. Week 1 is all about strategy. You audit what you have and you write that powerful news summary. Week 2, you get structural. Apply that 60-30-10 rule and modernize the layout. Week 3 is all about refining and testing. And then week 4, you launch it. You start applying and tracking the results. It's a focused plan that gets you there fast.
Now, that week 3 testing phase, please do not skip it. It's so critical. You have to make sure your new resume gets past the applicant tracking systems, the robot gatekeepers that see it first. And getting a fresh pair of eyes on it from someone in your field, that's just priceless. And to really speed up that process, tools like Pass the Scan can be a total game changer. It's an AI that's built to do exactly what we've been talking about. It spots that subtle, age-revealing language and gives you specific suggestions to rephrase your experience as the powerful asset it is.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. Your career has been an amazing story of growth, of overcoming challenges, of real achievement. The only question left to answer is this: is your resume telling that story?